It's a banking startup using AI to streamline workflow and M&A transactions, fast-track junior bankers in the process, and so much more. Joining us right now is Ori Eldarov. Did I pronounce that correctly or no? Did I butcher your name?
That's correct, yeah.
Ori, yeah. Sorry, now I'm looking at you, and I'm really butchering the whole situation. CEO of OffDeal, also Sam Mielke. Am I getting that right?
That's
okay.
Correct, yep.
It's nice to see both of you. Explain for those who don't know what this is and how it works.
Yeah, so OffDeal is the world's first AI-native investment bank, right? So the easiest way to think about it is, what would Goldman Sachs or Evercore look like if it was built today and not 100 years ago? So we're innovating, obviously, on the software and the data side of things, but we're also innovating on the org chart, on the compensation structure, on the incentives. So we're kind of using this blank slate to deliver superior outcomes to our clients.
So I would hire you instead of Goldman Sachs?
Well, if you're a small business owner, you don't have too many options, right? We're working with businesses that are primarily $1 to $10 million in cash flow, and 80% of those folks, when they sell a business, they don't even have a sell-side auction, right? So they leave millions of dollars on the table when it comes to the most important transaction of their life.
How much does it cost to use you versus a traditional bank?
We charge 5% of enterprise value, which is probably a little bit higher than a traditional bank would do on a larger deal, and a little bit cheaper than a traditional bank would do on a smaller deal. So we're right in the middle.
But it's pretty straightforward, and people like that there's no other fees attached, right? We're not expensing meals and plane tickets, just a flat 5% success fee. So when we get you a higher enterprise value, we make money, and it's incentives are aligned. So
and when you say this is all AI driven, what does that mean?
It means every part of the workflow is AI native, from our CRM to the way we do outreach to the first pass of emails to the materials we build. Every single step of the workflow is AI first, and the human is essentially managing the AIs, and that's how it is.
How do you get a better valuation for the companies? How do you get a higher value? Explain why what you're doing. Why are you able to go out and get a better valuation?
It all comes down to competitive tension, right? If you think about traditional private equity firms, right, they hire investment banks to run an auction for a business, right? They're trying to get as many buyers as possible, get them to compete against one another. This is quite a bit harder to do for smaller businesses, where the buyer universe can be in the hundreds, if not thousands, of companies. So we built a system that is able to identify every potential buyer for that company. We're looking at product and services overlap and customers overlap, the investment activity that a private equity firm might have done in the past. So it creates this very rich set of buyers that we then reach out to. And of course, when you have multiple offers, right, people compete.
What prevents the big guys or a little guy, me, from trying to create a similar kind of situation leveraging AI?
Well, I mean, the banks will, use AI, but it's going to be largely point solutions. The softwares don't talk to each other. There'll be a slide deck builder. They'll, buy off the shelf a CRM. Doesn't really talk to each other. And then, we do a lot more than just build materials, right? It's the process of responding to buyer questions, diligence, creating the SIMs and the pitch decks, talking with the owner and seeing what deal they should take. And there's a lot of human in the loop still. The M&A process is pretty complex, so it'd be really pretty tough to do.
When you said human in the loop, how long does human in the loop need to be the case?
Yeah, I would say that for the world, for the life's most important life decisions, and selling your business is as important as it gets. We expect that you will need a human, to tell you, hey, this is a good deal to take, or this is the buyer that you can trust. So we're betting on the fact that humans will very much be needed in the process. We're just betting that the kind of work humans will do will be quite different in the future.
And in terms of that work, there's a big question in the universe about the training that used to come from having a junior analyst at a bank, and that junior analyst one day going on to be a managing director, and one day then going on to be a master of the universe. The question is, if you have no junior bankers, whether you can ever develop the masters of the universe.
Yeah. Well, you do have junior bankers, right? We just changed the org chart a little bit. If you take a step back, what makes someone a great deal maker, right? You have to be good at sales skills. You have to be good at negotiation skills. You have to be able to build, rapport with your client and have trust. None of those things you get to work on at Goldman Sachs or Evercore for the first 6 or 7 years of your career, right? You're busy, fixing logos on page 79 and Appendix K of your deck. Right, at OffDeal, you get to be client-facing since day one. So Sam here, he's a more experienced banker, so he's doing deals on his own. But you have more junior guys that join below him that will be helping with sourcing, outreach to clients, outreach to buyers. They'll help them with materials.
And then finally, what is different about whatever you've created on the digital side of this than what others are creating? You said like your CRM system or the bank CRM system is not going to match up with the others. Why have they not been able to figure this out and you have?
Yeah, I think the advantage that we have, frankly, is that our software is fully vertically integrated, right? So we are building everything at once. It all connects and talks to each other. When you are a software founder selling software to banks, you're now trying to make it work for one bank and second bank and third bank, and you're trying to generalize, and then it's much harder to do. For us, we're just building it for ourselves, and the feedback loop is much faster.
How many engineers do you have relative to bankers?
About a 1-to-1 ratio between engineers and bankers. It'll probably stay that way for the foreseeable future because we're building probably the best software in the finance space in the world.
And would you ever sell that software eventually?
No, I would not license this. I don't even think it would be licensable. It's so custom made for how we do things. It's probably similar to how Tesla, right, built their Gigafactory to optimize it for how Tesla builds cars, right? So it's the same way for us. The way we built it is just so tailor-made for OffDeal.